need to decide how much you want to spend. Currently, we're at the ad set level, and you can tell that at the top where you can see that the 4 boxes are highlighted. That's the ad set level. It also will let you know to create an ad set name, and currently we have ours named. The P is for prospecting, as this is a prospecting campaign. We're going to be targeting people who have an interest in cooking, and we'll be trying to sell them the infused olive oils with the launch date of 9/15. Now you set your budget and your schedule at the ad set level. Let's get started going through these steps. Below the ad set name, we also have the conversion. So we are looking to set the website as a conversion event location. If I had an app, I would choose that. If I was looking to advertise in Messenger, I would choose Messenger or WhatsApp. As I scroll down, we're going to take a look at the pixel. Now, this is a snippet of code that will be placed on your website so that Facebook can track all the actions that take place off of Facebook itself. Otherwise, they don't have visibility onto what happens on your website. Now, notice we have some warning flags here, and that's totally fine. It's Facebook letting us know that we need to prioritize our events for the iOS 14.5. Now, this is the new changes to the Apple software where they're asking users if they want to be tracked on their mobile phones. This is really important to set up, so follow the prompts. I'm sure you will see this on your ads tool here. You also might need to verify your pixel. We have that warning here too. And that's just because we're using a fictitious brand for this example. Moving on, we're going to take a look at dynamic creative. So this is the ability for Facebook to generate different combinations. They're going to learn some information about your audience as you start running your ads. And so they might figure that this image looks best with this type of headline, and they're going to automatically put that together and send that out. And using their algorithm and AI, they're going to be able to come up with some really powerful combinations. Now, I recommend this as you get more familiar with your advertising. But if you're starting out like this prospecting campaign, you don't really know what ad copy performs well. You don't really know what visuals you should be using. So test this for yourself before you lean on Facebook. And then you can create some really powerful dynamic offers. Speaking of offers, you have the ability to create an offer for people and they can actually save it and get reminders about it. It could be free shipping, 10% off, all those type of promotions and discounts. It's a great idea to create probably a bit more of a high conversion level, but this is something that you're going to want to test. I'm going to leave that off for now. Let's talk finally about our budget and our schedule. There are 2 types of budgets that you can set, and I'm going to choose the arrow here. We can set a daily budget or a lifetime budget. Daily budget means if I have $10, I only want to spend $10 per day. A lifetime budget I might set for $1,000, and so that's going to be spent during the lifetime of this ad campaign. Now, right now we have our daily budget set for $5. If I chose lifetime budget, the pricing is going to go up. So do note that we do have our dates set. Our date range for this campaign to run is September 15th to the 30th. Now, I'm going to stick with a daily budget. I like to get started setting a daily budget of about $20 a day. This allows Facebook enough money and room to start finding an audience that is going to convert. What I'm going to do is I'm going to monitor it, and in 3 days, if it's not performing well, I might delete the ad set, or if it's performing really well, I might add more money to the ad set. But I like starting at 20. We have our date range set below. Now, it's an option to set an end date. If I unselected that, this ad would run until I turned it off. I like to set an end date. Sometimes it's a little scary to not have anything set up, but again, it depends on your goals. A little bit of a tip is if you set your start date time for really early in the morning, Facebook is going to try to spend your money a little bit quicker, and sometimes you get better results. Now, Facebook might not like your budget, they will have a warning that pops up saying you might need a bit more. That's something to pay attention to. And I can take a look at my estimated daily results at the bottom right. It's here based on our conversion window, based on our budget. They expect the reach to be about 442 people to around 1K. These aren't always accurate, but it is something to pay attention to. Now it's your turn. If you haven't set up a budget and schedule previously, I recommend going to this part in your campaign and playing around with it. If a daily budget of $20 seems a little bit too much, why not set a lifetime budget of $50 and just run your advertisement for 2 weeks? What makes Facebook ads so powerful is that they're capable of targeting even the most niched of audiences. Once you've chosen your advertising objective and set up your budget and schedule, the next step is to identify your audience. The audience you define are the people who are likely to be served your ad. So choosing a highly relevant audience is really important. You want to increase the likelihood that these people will not only interact with your ad, but they'll perform the intended objective. Right now, we are in the Ads Create tool. And the brand that we're working with is Two Trees Olive Oil, a fictitious brand who sells olive oils from their website. Our objective is to get more sales. We want people to buy the infused olive oils. So we set that up as a conversion ad. Now we are in the audience, and that is under the ad set. You know you're in the ad set if you look at the top and you see the 4 squares highlighted. This is where we're defining who is going to be served the ad. I've set up an audience already. Let's take a look at what I set up. Now, your first thing is you're able to create a brand new audience, or you can use a saved one. What happens is once you set up an audience, you have the ability to save it, choose a name for it, and you can use it in future campaigns. It makes it really handy so you're not doing the same thing over and over and over again. But it also means that you can get some really important data from these audiences. So you can see if you set up certain criteria, so say it's women who love to cook with a specific age range, and you save that audience, you can really clearly see whether that audience is performing well or not. Now, what I've set up here is if I scroll down, I have excluded anyone who is currently liking or following the Two Trees Olive Oil page. That's because we're prospecting. We don't want to spend money on people that already know about the brand. I want Facebook to go out and find people that have never heard of Two Trees Olive Oil before. Scrolling down, you can see that our location is the entire United States. Now, this might freak some people out, but because the brand ships anywhere into the US, I'm not looking to define by demographic for this ad set. I'm looking to define more by interests. And you'll notice that under detailed targeting. So I'm looking for anyone who's expressed an interest in cooking. If we take a quick look over at the right where it says audience definition, Facebook will show us our potential reach. You have that meter where right now we're right in the sweet spot, right in the middle. Be aware that you don't want to be too broad and you don't want to be too specific. So make sure you're keeping an eye on that needle. Now, Facebook looks like it doesn't really have much information for us right now, saying the definition is unavailable. That might mean because this is a fictitious brand and they haven't gathered enough data. We haven't run enough campaigns for them to understand how our ads are going to perform. Below is my option to save this audience. If I select that, this dialog box is going to pop up. And it's here that I can choose an audience name. What I'm going to make sure is that I'm very clear in naming this audience. So underneath here is all the criteria. I might put something really specific, and I might say that it's US. I could even say 18 to 65, and that the interest is cooking. So when I go look for this audience in the future, I know exactly what audience I'm targeting. I'm going to go ahead and cancel out of that. Your audience is crucial to the success of your ad. So make the most out of your advertising spend by figuring out what audience you want to target. Make sure that it matches your existing user base. meets the criteria for people who love your products, and really dig deep into who is your audience. Now it's your turn. Go ahead and create an ad and start figuring out the targeting for it. Who do you wish you want your ad to get in front of? As always, note the gauge on the right-hand side to see how your reach increases or decreases while you tweak the different criteria for setting up your audience.